Hey guys, welcome to another edition of K Sports Sunday, February 13th, 2011. I'm Alex Barth. I'll be your host today, and I am joined by Ben, Dylan, and Adam, and we will have Jesse Mayfield Sheen on coming up. We got a whole bunch of topics to talk about today. The Celtics and the Heat, the big game in the Eastern Conference. Bruins take on the Red Wings. A big shakeup in college basketball involving a very high seed. And more than that, also, it's Boston. Baseball season's almost upon us, but let's start. Like I just said, Celtics Heat earlier today, top two teams in the Eastern Conference. Celtics coming off that loss to Lakers in arguably their toughest two-game stretch of the year. And we have highlights for you coming up right now. Celtics up 13 when Ray Allen goes to Rajon Rondo for the reverse. Rondo had 11 points, 10 rebounds, and 10 assists for the triple-double. Glenn Davis also came up big in this game, had 16 off the bench. Here's two of them right here as he backs down, draws the double team, puts it up and in. Right there, the Celtics led by their biggest of 13 points. But Miami would lead at the half, 45-39. The Celtics stepped up the intensity after that with the 35-point third quarter. They were off the hook. LeBron drives, and he stopped. And then right here, Kevin Garnett turned around for two of his 19. And then late in the game, LeBron had trouble getting it done. And the Heat missed some key shots. LeBron missed a big free throw. And then Mike Miller missed a three that would have tied it up with just seconds left. But instead, the Celtics pull up. They win 3 of 3 from the Heat this year. And the overrated chants were raining down from the rafters of the Garden. Like I said earlier, I'm joined with Ben, Dylan, and Adam. Guys, what'd you think of this game?
Well, to start off, it was a very, very big win for the Celtics. I mean, to beat a team like that, it's a great win. Everyone played well. I mean, you had Rondo and LeBron. That's huge that he can do that. The intensity was great, playing good Boston basketball.
Yeah, I agree with you there. It was a great game for Boston. And you know what this means? Now that they've won 3 out of the 4 games against the Heat, they take the season series with the Heat, which means if there's a tie in the first seed in the East, the Celtics will take the lead over the Heat, which I think makes a big difference here because the Heat are definitely on strong. You know, coming into this game, the Celtics were down half a game to the Heat. Now they're up half a game. But, you know, the fact that they have the season series over them is huge.
Adam?
Yeah, definitely. I think this was a really big win for the Celtics because they had just lost to the Lakers, and I think it's a big morale booster, especially since the Heat were so, you know, in the beginning of the year, they were prided as they were supposed to be, you know, the biggest and the best from the season. And now, you know, it's going to be really tight down the season, but as Dylan said, now they have the season series. And so if they do come down to a tie, the Celtics are going to take the edge for the first seed.
And Ben, like you mentioned, putting Rajon Rondo on LeBron. LeBron still did score 21 points, which is a lot. But for LeBron James, that's considered holding him.
Yeah.
Do you think do you think this was a one-time thing? Rondo had a good day, or do you think this will work for them if they come on and face the Heat in the playoffs? Do you think this is an effective way to silence LeBron?
Rondo has huge wingspan. He's fast. He keeps up with LeBron. He's strong for a 6'1", 6'2" point guard. I mean, he can do everything LeBron does. And the height difference didn't seem to bother him. 21 points for LeBron James. That's like a 15-point game for a Paul Pierce, or say something like that. And, you know, I don't think it's a one-time thing. I think Rondo can do it more, but he just played very, very well today. I'm curious to see what's going to happen in the future.
Yeah, I don't know. It was just Rondo was very good this game, but I think Rondo is an outstanding player. He was very good this game. It's kind of hard to tell whether this is a one-time thing or it's total. I mean, it was a great performance. I love Rondo. He's my favorite player on the Celtics, but I think it might be just a little one-time thing. To LeBron is amazing. Like, I'm gonna look at the height difference. It's like, what, a foot maybe? It's
but Rondo
huge.
has a big wingspan.
Well, that is true, but even if that wingspan, I'm pretty sure it only reaches like LeBron's chin. So it's pretty hard to cover LeBron. I think it was a great game, but it might be just a little one-time thing.
Adam?
Yeah, I think Rondo's a really great player. He's really athletic. He gets down the court really quickly. I think it's a good way for Boston to try to silence LeBron. I don't know if he'll do this well every time, but I certainly don't think this is never going to work out again. And if they do it again, LeBron will overpower Rondo. Rondo did have a great game today, but I do think it's a good matchup for the Celtics because they do need someone to cover LeBron in the future.
But maybe the Heat could get adjusted to this defensive scheme that the Celtics put on today with some zone defense, some press. I mean, if you get adjusted to that, then they just have to keep changing that game plan.
Yeah, that's true. The Celtics, I think, have a very, very good defense with KG, Pierce, Rondo. It's very good. And, when you face the Celtics, you got to pull a few tricks up your sleeve in order to outplay their defense.
If you look at the Celtics' last few games, they've first of all, they've lost. They've had a lot of injuries. Jermaine O'Neal might be done for the year. That signing is starting to look like both.
Daniels.
Semi or Den was coming up big. He's out. Daniels is also out. But through these injuries, they beat the Heat today. They held it tight with the Lakers for most of that game on Thursday. The last few games, they have been playing hot despite the injuries. Can they continue this streak and keep playing well with these teams out, or are the injuries eventually going to catch up to them?
I mean, hopefully the injuries won't. These guys got to stay healthy. They are one of the oldest teams in the NBA, if not the oldest. But it's hard to tell. Hopefully these guys can keep playing the way they're doing. The young guys off the bench, like Big Baby, playing phenomenal. Nate Robinson filling in the role of point guard when he's needed. I mean, Marquise Daniels he was a key factor to this team. He's out 1 to 2 months. But look for Delonte West to come back.
That's true. He's coming back soon. And how
Filling
perfect was the timing with Semi Erden and Jermaine O'Neal and Shaq? We forgot to mention Shaq. Shaq going down earlier. How perfect was the timing of Kendrick Perkins' return?
I know. It's just like fitting the pieces into a puzzle. I mean, Celtics are going to tie this in. Hopefully they can go far, maybe even win it.
All right, so we're going to go over from the hardwood now to the cold wood, that being the ice. Bruins facing the Red Wings today for the second time. I know, that was kind of cheesy. For the second time in 2 days. And they lost Friday to the Red Wings 6-1, a devastating game. They were looking to come back from that. You have Tim Thomas in goal looking to silence the Wings. And in the first period, the Bruins get at the net, and Brandon Wheeler gets it in on the rebound. Bees go up early, 1-0. Now Boston up 2-1. Later in the second, when Detroit comes back, Reshevsky misses wide, but the rebound slammed home, and we're tied up 2-2. And then later, tied in the second, Patrick Eves, touch pass, Chris Draper puts it in, second goal of the game. Wings take the 3-2 lead. They wooded one more, and for the second time in 3 days, Detroit Red Wings come up on top of Boston, and they take a 2-game lead in the conference. Another look again. That nice pass going halfway up the ice. And again, and that would be all the Red Wings needed. They'd add one more. But the Bruins lose again, and they fall to second place. Some tough times there. Now going over to college basketball. Big shakeup today. Number 1 Ohio State playing number 14 Wisconsin. And we have some highlights for you for that. Ohio State number 1, they were the last undefeated team left. Keyword there being were, right, guys?
Yeah.
Yep. And we'll see if we can get these highlights. Well, I don't want to ruin it for anyone if I didn't already.
It's a funny coincidence because what Ohio State in college football. Oh, okay.
You're just talking college basketball. You're talking Ohio State. This isn't highlights. Just talk. College basketball.
And I said 14. I'm sorry. It's 13 Wisconsin. Dylan, you want to bring up the point you were going to say?
Well, yeah, it's funny because this year in college football, actually, it was when Ohio State versus like 13 or 12 Wisconsin, and Wisconsin took Ohio State down in Wisconsin. You know, it's sort of a coincidence there. I guess maybe Wisconsin has Ohio State's number in all their sports.
This was a tight game all the way through, but I don't want to ruin the ending till the end of this clip, but let's say hypothetically Ohio State's to lose. Who's the new number 1?
Ooh.
That's a tough one.
I mean, college basketball has been very, very uneven. Every team has been, no one is perfect. No one's that outstanding that they're going to blow out like we've seen in years past. I mean, Duke's very good. I mean, a bunch of very good teams that you see that are good every year. A bunch of teams that are creeping into the top 25. I mean, it's a big mix-up. Look for a lot of number 1s. Just going to keep switching up the whole year. You can't tell. We thought UConn could have been number 1. They lost 2 games. They lost to Syracuse and Seton Hall. So you don't know.
I think actually Pitt is going to move into number 1. They've had an outstanding season so far, including a big win over UConn. I think that they're a very outstanding team. I have some ironicness there. I picked that they were number 1 2 years back, and I was doing this bracket thing, for my dad's law firm, like where I had to fill out this bracket for March Madness and pick the winner. So I picked Pitt to win, and they got knocked out by Villanova when they were #1. So I hope if I end up picking Pitt to win this year in the tournament, no coincidence. That'd be terrible.
As far as who's going to move into #1, with college basketball, especially this year, teams move up, teams move down, teams move into #1, teams lose, they go down. It's been really erratic so far this year, and I don't think there's any way to predict who's going to move into the #1 spot next, but it will be really interesting to see who's going to move into the #1 spot next.
Okay, so we had Pitt over here, and then we just had interesting over here. All right, that's going to do it. But on the other side, we got a lot more coming, so make sure you stick around. More K Sports Sunday after this.
I'm Max Kleiman for YBA Sports,
giving young people the chance and the training to be young broadcasters. That's how YBA started.
Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Back Talk Entertainment.
So Ashley, why are businesses using Facebook?
Well, the really cool thing about Facebook...
Over 370 hours of live student-produced webcast, including the first professional sports event broadcast entirely by kids. That is only the beginning of the story of Young Broadcasters of America.
Parents rave about their child's improvement in confidence, poise, and communication skills. But it doesn't come as any surprise to us because we teach Generation Tech how to talk using TV broadcast skills, and the results are amazing.
This is the oral communications piece that nobody else has.
With a whole generation communicating more through technology than face-to-face, Young Broadcasters of America has created a curriculum for voice articulation that is now available at YBA Online.
IPI stands for inflection, pronunciation, intonation, and enunciation.
Connecting professional broadcasters with young people has given the next generation of TV talent an edge in communication, in school, and in life.
What opportunity do you have as a kid to get in front of a camera, to get behind a mic, to learn how to actually do it? This is the only opportunity he's ever had.
Justin, it's good to be sitting right next to you. Nice to be here.
They learned everything. They learned behind the camera, in front of the camera, editing, just so much poise, and they really enjoyed it. It was an awesome experience.
Perhaps best of all, the young people who train with Young Broadcasters of America have a blast creating a new kind of cool.
Oh! And that's how we do it at YBA.
Once I was introduced to the whole broadcasting world a year and a half ago, I realized this is what I want to do.
You bring the personality within your heart out onto the set, and you show everyone who you really are. Now his old friends are helping to honor Ace Bailey's name.
He was a very important part of our team, but more importantly, he was a great friend to all of us.
YBA builds confidence, develops communication skills so necessary in life. Now, YBA is bringing its training to adults and the corporate community, which is desperate to undo what technology has done. For more information about Young Broadcasters of America, log on to youngbroadcasters.com or call 508-650-2000.
Hello and welcome back to K Sports Sunday. I'm Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. I'm still joined by Ben, Dylan, and Adam. Thank you so much to Alex for hosting a great first section. And now we're going to move things over to the baseball scene. Guys, spring training is starting up now with pitchers and catchers arriving. Yeah. And with this is a big issue for Boston Red Sox here at home because their pitching was such a mess last year, guys.
Awful.
Do you guys think they have much of a chance here this year? I mean, first of all, we got Jonathan Papelbon, who's been there for a few days already. What do you think the season's going to be like for him?
For Papelbon, I think if he starts strong, I think he's going to be consistent. But hopefully we're not going to see. I think he's going to work on breaking pitches, some sliders, changeups, because his fastball is not that overpowering yet.